It's the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Philly to take on the Philadelphia Eagles in a revenge game for Doug Pederson, coming back to Philly for the first time since being fired. Won a Super Bowl in Philly, had a big impact there, but now he's the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Eagles are 6.5-point favorites in this game with an over-under of 45.5 points. I'm going to be honest here with you, Aaron. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm not going to hide from this. I am very excited for this game because this is going to be a really good test for the Jaguars to see if they are the real deal or not. But this was the same way. I was the same way in 2017, and I'm doing the same thing now. I am always, every game, especially against a good team, and the Philadelphia Eagles are a very good team. Every game that they play a good team, I'm thinking, when is the shoe going to drop for the Jacksonville Jaguars? When are we going to see that game, that setback game, where we say, okay, let's pump the brakes on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's not get too crazy. They're still a young, growing team, and we have to remember that. Because like you said the other day, people are starting to put the Jaguars in the top 10 of power rankings. So, like, that's...
Yeah, but those are idiots. Vinny, you can't buy into this stuff.
I'm not. If you listen to what I just said, I'm not buying into it. I'm saying I'm waiting for the shoe to drop because I don't think the Jaguars are a top 10 team, and I'm a Jaguars
fan. That's the wrong idea too. Why? I'm gonna do this. Why do we do this with football teams? Why does it have to be? Oh, they win some games. They're the greatest team ever, or they have a game where maybe they do get blown out by Philly, and you're like, see, that's what I was waiting for. Like, why does there have to be such optimism or such pessimistic attitudes?
I think you're looking at the extreme of it all. If the Jaguars,
you are being extreme.
No, I'm not. If the Jaguars lose this game, I will not have a problem. If they get blown out in this game, I will also not have a problem. I am looking at this game as, like I said, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. That's
my point. So that negative connotation of, because it's always been a certain way. I'm waiting. That is an extreme reaction because of history of an organization. Why does it have to be that though? Why can't it just be through 3 weeks, Jacksonville has played pretty good football. And if week 4 they don't play pretty good football, then so be it. Look for week 5 to see what they do.
Of course, I'm still going to do that.
Your words are a reaction to something that has just happened. And that reaction, if you're waiting for that shoe to drop, is a pessimistic attitude towards an organization that's had a bad history. Yeah. That is a fan mentality. Vinny, I am going to say this for the last time. You are now a member of the media.
Prominent member of the media.
You don't get to do that. You are a member of the media. You are not a fan that can do that. You have to take it as a holistic approach and just say,
if this was any other team, I would be doing the same exact thing. Like the Giants, like the Giants being 2-1. Like eventually when they play a good team, I'm going to be like, okay, because say the Giants win this week and they go 3-1, and I don't know who they play in the following week, but say they play.
Not going to let you do that. Not going to let you do that. With the Giants, you don't think they were a good football team. You say, I expect them to come back down to earth to be wherever they are. That is not you're not doing that with Jacksonville. Jacksonville. It's an emotional, chemical response.
I'm expecting.
Let me finish because
I'm expecting the Jaguars to come back down to earth, though, and maybe earth isn't as low as the Giants' earth.
That's my point. My point is you're expecting the Jaguars come back down to earth because of the past, not because of right now. The Giants you're expecting come down to earth because of right now.
That isn't totally true either.
That is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Who do you believe in more, Daniel Jones or Trevor Lawrence?
I think that the defense of the Jacksonville Jaguars, although there's been a lot of playmakers and them making big time plays with Devin Lloyd and Trayvon Walker, I think that defense still has some holes, at least in the secondary, that could allow them to get beat big time and get burned, especially in this game against two very good wide receivers, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's what I'm looking
for. That's not the point, Vinny. That is not the point. You're changing the point. That's not my point. My point is not Jacksonville can't get burned. Jacksonville can't get beat big. My point is the expectation of you saying, I'm waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm waiting for it to happen because it's always happened in the past. That's the only reason why. You cannot, you even said yourself in 2017, you just never could buy it. You were just waiting for it to drop and waiting for it to drop because you couldn't see Jacksonville having a good team. And the only reason you couldn't see it is because you were being emotional as a fan and you were so used to them disappointing. So you can't do that. This is not the Jaguars of 2021. It's not the Jaguars of 2017. It's the Jaguars of 2022. And whatever they do this year, whether that's 4-13 or 10-7, that's what you have to look at. Blowouts are going to happen. The best teams have been blown out. If you react to that, there it is, the shoe dropped, I knew it, or even a couple in a row, that's when that emotion starts to come into play. Just take it for what it is. Enjoy the ride, Vincent.
I'm going to enjoy the ride. We have a lot of Eagles fans in the office, and I'm very excited to roll up in there with my Josh Allen jersey. Win or lose, I'm going to be yelling, Duval!
With that being said,
that's what I'm going to be yelling no matter what. Win or lose, Jaguars 16-1, winning the Super Bowl. Let's go, Jags. Let's break this game down, though. Let's break this game down, though.
We didn't already do that?
No, we didn't, and that's what I was not trying to get into. We need to talk about
this. Then you shouldn't have brought up your. You should have brought up your emotions.
You should have just let me be emotional. That's what you should have.
No.
In this game, though, what are you looking for Jacksonville? Let's start with the Eagles because we just talked a lot about the Jaguars. In this game for the Eagles, is this a game where who has the? Nope, not.
You don't even know what questions to ask. Look,
I don't. Not for this game because.
You're
not for this game. Not for this
You're
game.
You're an emotional mess. You are an emotional
I'm a wreck.
Mess when it comes to your team.
I also don't have any notes for any of these games. So,
but it hasn't stopped you until now. Hasn't stopped you until now.
I've had great questions up until now. And that's the ultimate sarcasm. In this game, though, for the Eagles, does this come down to how good the Eagles can rush or how good the Eagles can pass?
That's not a great question. No, I'm just playing.
None of my questions have been good today.
No, your questions have been fine until it came to your emotional response, Jaguars. Listen, the Eagles' offense is predicated on the running game. Not about who gets involved or how many times they rush the ball, but when they are effective in the running game, they are an effective offense. And we've seen that over the course of the first 3 weeks. They're the most efficient offense in football because they have the most efficient running game. And whether that's Jalen Hurts getting out of the pocket, whether it's design run by Jalen Hurts, whether it's Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, doesn't matter. And then you add Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown on the outside who can make big plays and create opportunities to get down the field. And then Dallas Goedert over the middle. No denying the weapons that the Philadelphia Eagles can have, but they have to run the football because it's really easy in the NFL when you're one-dimensional. And they haven't been subject to, we got A.J. Brown, let's just throw the ball all the way down the field. Let's do that. They've consistently ran the football, and they've done a good job at it, and it's created so many opportunities for that offense. One of the best offenses in football right now. We knew the offensive line could be good. We knew that the Jalen Hurts question marks were about his accuracy and ability to get his guys the football. And when you run the football, play action, receivers are open. You don't have to be as accurate. You're not throwing in as tight as windows, and that's exactly what they've done, and it's done well for them. So Jacksonville has their hands full this week. That young defense, this is their real first big-time test. And I'm not dismantling or discrediting the Chargers offense, but there's a difference when you have Austin Eckler and that offensive line that can't run the football and just Mike Williams. No Keenan Allen was out there. None of the A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert. Yeah, that offense is different.
On both sides of the ball, I think this is going to be a big test for the Jacksonville Jaguars, that more so than what it was last week, because you mentioned the weapons, but look at the trenches between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Philadelphia Eagles, offensive and defensive lines. The Eagles can get a lot of some great pass rush. Jordan Davis is a very talented rookie in this league. He is effective. You got Brandon Graham there as well. I mean, this team is very good at rushing and getting to the quarterback. And you look up front in the Jaguars, you have rookie Luke Fortner at center, and then you have Ben Barch as your guard. Like, it's going to come down to protecting Trevor Lawrence. And I want to see him make some plays with his legs. We talked about it in the offseason about how we want to see Trevor Lawrence do a little bit more improvising and making more plays with his legs. He's not a statue of a quarterback. He's a mobile guy. You're gonna be faced with a lot of adversity and a lot of pressure in this game from a good defensive line and a good pass rush from the Eagles. That's going to be huge. And then also the young talent that the Jaguars have on the defense getting through that great offensive line for the Eagles and getting to Jalen Hurts and making him have to move around. Like those are the keys for me, like that I'm watching for so much in this game. Win or lose for either of these teams, or win or lose for at least the Jaguars, that's what I want to see and see where they're at in terms of that. Because like you said, this is a even bigger test than it was against the Chargers last week. Who do you have in this game?
I have the Eagles in this one. I think they stay hot. I think their playmakers are a bit too much on the outside, and I will take but I don't think it's a super high scoring game. I'm going to say 26 to 24 to 19.
Okay. 24-19 Eagles. I will say 28-24. Let's say I'll do it. I'll go with 28-24 Eagles. 28-24 Eagles. I think the Eagles still are the better team. I told myself I'm not going to get emotional in my picks this year. As much as I want to say this is the revenge game for Doug Pederson, this is it. The Eagles win this game 28-24.